Hello my dear friends, I'm Jennyli Gustafsson from Sweden, and I would like to share with you my story of awakening. I know there's a lot of you out there that are in the same process of awakening as I am, and maybe my story and my messages that I bring can help you to understand a bit more of your own process. For me, it started in 2006. I had a spontaneous initiation when my stepmother or pretend mother left this earth. She came through when I sat down with pen and paper, and I was asking universe or God or whatever to tell me what's the meaning of life. Why am I here? And in that exact moment she came through. I knew she was very ill, so my first thought was that, oh no, she has left. But the words she wrote through me was so hopeful and so wonderful. So I couldn't be sad. It was about life, actually. So, but after, when she left and went to paradise, she continued to talk to me about these things on the other side. But after maybe 2 months she left for another entity, for something bigger that surrounds us all, that is a part of us all. And in my world that was God. So it was a big change to get in contact with that core and that source within me, and I couldn't understand what was happening, but I just had to go forth with this. I couldn't let it just be, because this was too big to just let it be. And I got to know that I should write 3 books, and the first book was called God Has a Plan, and in this book it was God's voice coming through. And the second book would be called Messenger to Earth, and in that book it would be the voice of Christ coming through. And the third book would be called The Earth We Inherited, and of course that is the voice of Mother Earth. And I would like to share with you one chapter of that book. Now I have put them together in one book, and this book is called the Book of Eternities. And we are the eternity. We are the eternity. Yeah. So the book looks like this. In Swedish it's called Evigheternas bok, but the English version is made by Åsa Bengtsson. She translated it to English. Åsa Bengtsson from GreatLittleBritain. So the chapter is called The Soulmate, and it comes from the second book, Messenger from Earth, Messenger to Earth. And here it comes. The Soulmate. Finally, Yin and Yang will be living in harmony within you. The true soulmate is more beautiful than you could have imagined. You are your own true soulmate. Here and now, says Jesus, therefore to find your true soulmate, you have to start looking where you have your hand slightly below the chest. The child of truth is the soulmate you are looking for. The shouting and laughing trust the greenstone that has to be used. Through your sharpened eye, the truth about the soulmate arises. By antipode within you, you understand who is best suited to live his life with you. Yes, that is true. You yourself. The understanding for soulmates is loved by all people, because in order to be whole, you need the acknowledgement from the opposite sex. Yin and Yang are common words for these two aspects of a person. Here Jesus, therefore I should say Jesus or the Virgin Mary. Through these two aspects of a person the whole picture will emerge. Jesus is the male aspect and the Virgin Mary the female. You are both these messages at the same time. You are Jesus and the Virgin Mary at the same time. The holy wedding shall take place between Jesus and the Virgin Mary. The christening took place when you were just a young child, and the memory of an adventure shall make the child of truth grow and get ready for the holy wedding. Oedipal complex intends to jeopardize your wedding, but you have to try to distance yourselves from this, since this wedding is just another form of the physical manifestation of the true wedding. Messenger to earth is sharpening the seeing even further. The blue flower of longing shall soon bravely grow up and become a beautiful lotus flower furthest up at the top of the crown. The white lotus flower is longing for the glimpse of eternity, because its frankness leads the flower through the beautiful landscape. Through gold and green forests the flower follows the path with truth and life. This carries on all the way up to the top of the skull, where it spreads out and soaks up the eternal light. Give wealth to your flower. Show courage to propose to yourself. The shout from your soul to universe is a fact. Through the wedding of truth your soul has started to long for real. The stripes from your head to universe are like gills of a fish. Through these stripes you get oxygen, which makes it possible to breathe. Divine oxygen is what you need in order to live in the substance called God. Get strength to liberate the child of truth. Give yourself the light of truth, so that this child can grow up and blossom there furthest up on your skull. The solid education now intends to tell the truth about the morning star, which longs for the white lotus flowers. The light of goodness is searching for a true soulmate, while you are looking for friends on Mother Earth. The glimpse from eternity shall make you see the truth about your soulmate. Human child, the veil that hangs before your face shall now be lifted. A holy wedding makes you rise in the eternal song of praise. Recognized songs of praise are wonderful when people nurture the conscious mind with these wonderful Eureka moments. Now Jesus, therefore offers one of those experiences with the help of an old Swedish prayer. God, who holds the children dear, look at me as little as I am. Wherever I go in the world, my luck and happiness is in God's hands. Happiness will come and happiness will go, but the one who loves God always gets happiness and bliss. This old Swedish prayer, dating back to 1780. You are welcome into your own kingdom whenever you want to. Everything is there for you to find. Everything that you have now come to earth to understand exists within you for you to explore and discover. Everything that stems back to when time began is within you here and now. Everything seems to be released in this moment. Everything that you, time and time again, have wished for and dreamed of now sounds inside you like a melody loved by the child of truth. Give yourself this child's beloved wishes of life. Everything that stems back to when time began you have within you, like a waxed seal of truth and wisdom. Everything that stems back to when time began is now being voiced within you as you are reading these lines. Love yourself as you love your next. Your song of praise to your own soul is what makes you grow. Trust life within you as the greatest thing to discover. You are the ocean of possibilities and music that you have always dreamed of. You are the path, the truth and life. Love yourself as you love your next. God, therefore I, rises because you care about yourself. God, therefore I, masters your life's disarmament because you rise. When you have risen, the first thing you see is the path. The second thing you see is the truth about this path, and the third thing you see is life awaiting you along this path. By rising, you notice where you are. Through God has a plan, you stand up and see where you are. This awakening is the same as standing up. Before you can start to wander forward in life, you have to know where you are. If you start to walk before you stand up, you quite quickly get a sore bottom, isn't that right? To drag oneself forward on one's bottom is not to be preferred. There could be deep wounds, and the bottom can feel rather worn out. You will get tired and disorientated. You have to drag and drag, without actually knowing where you are. That is very tiring, my dear lifeline. Yes, you are my lifeline. Through you all life flows. This is life, which stems from the beginning of time and exists in the depths of my soul. Through you, the great God rises. The great God, which stems from beginning of time, is life within you, and you are what the travel journal calls the eternal pulse manifesting this life. The questioning, which states that humans are welcome to rise whenever they feel like it, enters the world so that the understanding will get a foothold. It doesn't matter if you are 10 years old or 90 years old. The messenger of truth shall enter the world, and then the most beautiful paradise you have ever seen shall be formed. You are the path, the truth and life. What the substance within you has is wisdom, the greatest wisdom you can ever have. This book is just a reflection of this wisdom that your heart possesses. By understanding how the meeting of truth takes place, you will never be alone again. By forming the meeting of truth with a small child, you shall from now on never be alone again. By taking care of the child's blood ties to its mother and father, you create the greatest companionship you have ever dreamt of. By winking at your father and caress the ground that is your mother, you enable the moment of truth and the miracle of birth. The time of giving birth is soon over, and so is the painful delivery. Before you can meet the soulmate, the baptism of truth takes place. And the baptism of birth cannot take place until the actual delivery is done with. As soon as the little baby has been born and been received into its mother and father's longing arms, then life can start. As soon as your body is born into this world, it starts to grow from the nutrition you get when you breastfeed from your mother. You grow up and you become an adult. This is an obvious chain of events. What is not quite as obvious is that your soul also needs to be breastfed nutrition from its divine mother and father in order to grow. The seed of your soul is just lying still and waiting for be fed some nutrition so that it can wake up and grow up and look for its true supposed to be. If you can see that your life has two aspects, then you will give yourself peace. It is yourself you are looking for all your life. It is yourself who is your true soulmate. The understanding for the little baby is the same as the understanding for Christ or God. That's how it is, my children. By understanding that it is yourself you are longing for, you actually see the whole picture clearly. You are the baby Jesus who is born in the manger, and you are also the person nurturing and caring for this baby. By caring for this child, you are also caring for yourself. You have let yourself go and released yourself to the biggest adventure of your life, and you are about to follow the path of truth once and for all. The child has consequently grown up and is standing on its own 2 feet. Therefore, it is time to sow another seed. God has a plan, is about getting your inner seed to root and to grow into a beautiful flower. The dream of the soul's meeting with itself, the small child, is now a reality. And what Messenger to Earth is about is to give birth to a new child. A new child is born when the Messenger to Earth is made your groom or bride. As soon as you get engaged to Messenger to Earth, then a new child is created. This child is more beautiful than any other child you have ever laid eyes on. This child is what we call the new Messiah. God has a plan mentions that the new Messiah shall return to Earth, and there you have your Messiah. Through you, the Messiah comes. Through you, Messiah number 2 comes. God therefore says that you are the second Jesus Christ on earth, and your child is Messiah number 2. Admit that this new era is beautiful. One single soul achieves Christ's status and Messiah status at the same time. This process follows the golden rule: love yourself as you love your next. No one in the world is better suited to give birth to his own child than you are. Through the Messenger to Earth, the child of truth within you gets a twin, and this twin is what we call God's 7th wonder. 2,000 years have passed since Jesus walked amongst people on earth. God himself is the first wonder and Jesus the second. He is said to have had a son, and he is now God's 3rd wonder. At this present time, God is counted once again, because also God develops his greatness through us humans. The God that exists now is God's 4th wonder, and you are God's 5th wonder. The child of goodness within you, baby Jesus, is God's 6th wonder, and the new baby Messiah is God's 7th wonder. The story of the God's 7th wonder starts here. Can you now see how you are the soulmate you have always searched for? Can you now see that the child which comes after you meeting your soulmate is the child of truth, kindred spirit? The solid education in this book enters the world in order for the child of truth to find its kindred spirit, and the Messenger to Earth is the path to that goal. The Messenger to Earth's human guidance shall give you the child of truth, kindred spirit, who is the Messiah of this era. God has chosen you to give birth to the next Messiah. That is quite something, my child. Through you the new Messiah shall be born. Through you the new life will flourish. Through you the omnipotence and almighty shall be released. Through you the Book of Eternities is praised. God has a plan, and that plan is very carefully read from the great eternal book. Through God as a plan, the words of truth in the Book of Eternities are made legible. God, how beautiful you are! I can see how your soul shines and how the understanding for the light of eternity shows up against your beloved heart. Legends of explanations aren't needed, as your heart understands everything. Your heart is what we call the best translator in this world. Your heart understands everything, and the one who doubts his own heartbeats actually doubts life itself. Through your heart flow the songs of praise for freedom, beloved child. The privilege to be allowed to speak to you is extremely great, my dear child. God, therefore has longed and longed to be able to speak to you directly and unedited. Through you I get strength to be. Through you the vision comes to life. The vision enters the world, and you see it with your heart. The human heart of the feasts ensures that the warmth spreads, because you have a warm heart. No matter how much darkness you experience, your heart is still so alive and beautiful. Through the darkness a little ray of hope always squeezes into my house. This ray is, so to speak, a ray of life that has always been my hope. The time has come when this ray of hope shall be a beaming day of sunshine. Through your heart flows the sun into the world. Through your heart the new golden era is heralded. The understanding of the new child is the novelty in this book. Through messenger to earth, the new child shall be born. The Thursday education is the new child's birth. The Wednesday education is the messenger to earth that you have dreamt of being joined with in deep love and harmony. Throw yourself into Wednesday education, and then the Thursday education will follow, sure as eggs is eggs, my dear child. Throw yourself into the seeing's greeted wedding, and then the greeted new child shall have the strength to be born. Through the divine wedding, life gets optimism and hope about the future. This is exactly how the physical life takes shape. Exactly the same as the spiritual life on earth, as it is in heaven. Eternity grows within you and outside of you. God is the eternal will to be. You manifest this will through your heart. The heart that wants to, it lives. The soiled heart that doesn't want to, that is not alive. God is the will, and you rise because you are choosing the will. By choosing the will, you are choosing to live, and then you are also choosing God. God is your inner will to live and be. God is what we call the inner force. God is what gets life to continue in the eternity of eternities. God is the will, the good will. The darkness is the non-good will, or the non-living state. So there is really no opposite of goodness. There is no evil, just a non-living state. This is why people should stop fearing what doesn't exist. Understand that what you think might be an evil action is only the fruits of a non-living heart. A non-living heart is doing everything possible to get enough nutrition to start to live. By shouting out into eternity, the non-living heart gets a response. By shouting out into eternity, the melody of truth has a chance to get a hold within you, so that your heart can start to live again. The lever from eternity sees the sad heart and does everything within its power to reach it. Some hearts cannot see the lever that is stretched out and are fumbling in the dark. Or it makes noises, and it's making noises in order for someone to hear it. Once eternity has reached a heart, the heart knows that the grown-up's courage is all about being brave enough to look the truth in the eye. God's eye is good, and the truth is good, so this courage is very easy to generate. Sweeping gestures in order to receive peace within your soul are not needed, my child. It is enough to calm one's mind and listen to the calm and loving words of the inner voice. Through this voice you get to know everything you need to know. It is this voice that speaks to you right now. Through this voice you capture life's essence within you, and the hearing takes on a new dimension. The hearing turns into the actual tool to use in order to understand oneself. Through the inner hearing, the channel of truth is transmitting to the world. The channel of seeing is transmitting words for you to listen to through the eternal channel. There are many channels in this universe, but the one I am talking about here is to speak the true channel for the backing singer's performance. The channel of eternity is sounding in your heart. Hear how beautiful it sounds, and you shall not doubt the beauty in your heart and in eternity of eternities. The words transmitted through this channel are the words which you can read here. This means that whenever you feel that the free flow is missing from your life, you can just pick up the book and tune into the frequency of truth. The frequency of truth is what the soul needs to really feed off forever and truthfully. The liberation of christening from the painful contractions gives you peace and harmony. This is because the window facing eternity is opened in the true master's gown, which starts from the head and is draped over the whole body. The responsibility of bringing the light down to the world is the task of the seeing. It is not possible to see without light. By bringing the light down to your planet, you understand yourself and the life you are currently leading. You yourself choose the will to be, and the darkness has to step back, as the light is always stronger than the darkness. Thus, where light is, there is life. There is life. Yeah, maybe we can take a small break if you want. You can go and have a glass of water or something. I will just make something so you can find your way back here, because I will continue this chapter to the end. And here is the book once more in Swedish. You can find it at siljansmasar.com in English. siljansmasar.com. Well, I will continue. The quotes from the Book of Eternities are longing to be read by you. Don't deny yourself the right to live. Make yourself whole. Spend time with yourself. Offer yourself the most beautiful of beautiful, meaningful existence on Mother Earth. A meaningful existence is what you are all searching for, and the truth about this existence is that it is created where you are and nowhere else. Somewhere else doesn't exist in people's lives. What exists is here. You can only relate to what is here and nothing else. Therefore, you meet your own meaningful existence where you are. It is no use trying to look elsewhere in order to find the meaning of life. To start making your way home in order to find the meaning of life is the miracle of birth within you. To make your way home is the meaning of life. Wherever you are, the will to be is growing. Through you, the melody of will flows. Infinity is the science of the growing life within each human. The understanding of eternity is what you have come to earth to receive. Why is it that it takes a physical body to understand the light of eternity? When you exist in a shapeless state without a body in the esoteric world, then you are in direct contact with the light of eternity and sounding completely with the eternal melody. You are therefore draped in the vibration of Sunday. Sunday is the day of rest, and Sunday tucks you in using the light of eternity as a warm, comfortable quilt when you are sleeping. Everything that is offered to you is encountered in the same way, because you don't have a physical body to experience the songs of praise through. The breath inhales and exhales the true light in and out of your body. Through the breathing, life gets a rhythm or pulse. Through the breathing, life gets a rhythm or pulse. Consequently, an interval of time has been created for the eyes to see. Through this pulse that the breath and heart have, men create time. This pulse of blood and breath also exists in paradise, but weakened or drawn out in an extremely long and seemingly straight curve. It is as close to straight as you could possibly get. When it is completely straight, the life will cease to exist. Through the pretty intense experience of the pulse of life on earth, which you are a part of, you are led closer and closer to the eternal light. As you exist inside a body, tension is created between the eternal light, your mind and your body. This tension makes you long, and you want to search for what is attracting you. The understanding of eternity is luring you and tempting you until you find what is attracting you. Everything suddenly gets a meaning, because the source of origin is growing within you. By meeting eternity within you, you respond to your real home and you find peace in your existence. Now you probably wonder why this fight is necessary. Everything that is allows itself to be created in all possible shapes. Everything that is allows itself to be created in all possible shapes, because masterpieces have to be created. Through you, God creates a masterpiece, and it is a privilege for God to see how this masterpiece become alive. Just imagine that you had painted a beautiful picture, and suddenly it came alive and created a life of its own. You would probably feel very proud indeed. A painting, a symphony, a book, a poem, a sculpture, or something else, all these things create an understanding within other people, and this understanding shapes these people's lives to some extent. Then one could say that what you have created becomes alive. The understanding for life is very strong within all of you, a quote from the Book of Eternities. The dream above the warmth, wish is seen floating straight up in the summer sky on a beautiful summer's day, finally become truth. The whole creation then portrays life, and the songs of praise sound all the way out to the west, east, north and south. The whole creation then portrays life, and the songs of praise sound all the way out into eternity of eternities. Twinkle, twinkle, little star gets a whole new meaning. Finally the vision will warm you, because the vision can become reality. The warmth comes from the depths of your soul. The understanding for eternity comes from the depths of your soul and comes alive when it meets the quotes from the Book of Eternities. Your physical body is the result of the will to be. Understanding of God intends to lead the songs of praise emanated from your heart to the eternity of eternities. Ask and you shall receive, give and you shall be given, look and you shall reach insight, retrieve the prescription that God, therefore I, has written for you. Retrieve the light of truth through your head, because your head is what we call the window facing eternity. All you need to do is to open this window. Now we have spoken of your soulmate that you are intended to great as welcome into your life. Now it is time to find the true path, because when your child grows up and becomes an adult, you have the possibility to enter this marriage. As soon as you are old enough to get married, then the wedding can take place. So don't delay the growing up process. The longing you have within you is the truth about the force which lets your soul know that there is something missing. Through the longing you know that the friend who meets you as soon as you have grown up will give you peace of mind. Through the longing you know that wherever you are, the diamond is cut in order to look for the true love. Everything that the soul longs for it shall have. The cutting, grinding and sharpening continues, because when the gorgeous diamond is shining, where you have your hand on the third eye, then you are ready to lift the wheel. Thank you.